Welcome into the Lindsey Beckham Show. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Friday. Finally, Friday, and we are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, right here in Flora, Mississippi, the WYAB studios, the 50,000 watt blowtorch flamethrower. I don't know what phrase Clay has been using this week, but he always has an exciting phrase for our our studios here. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Of course, you can always find us and stream us on wyab.com, as well as your FM radio. Hope everybody's having a fabulous Friday so far. It is the weekend. Goodness, I say that. I say it's finally Friday, but I feel like this year is flying by. It is going by incredibly fast. Too fast. If you want to understand how fast time goes by, just look at your children. I'm sure parents out there understand exactly what I mean. I look at mine and you can't blink. It goes by entirely too fast. I have one who will be taking senior portraits here this summer, and I just don't know how I feel about that. I'm not okay. I am not okay with that at all. She's just a baby. There's no way she should be taking senior portraits. Well, it has been an interesting week, I guess, if you're looking at the headlines and trying to keep up with what's going on, if we're still at war, is there a ceasefire? Are gas prices going to go down? Are they going to continue to rise? It all kind of seems unknown at the moment. One thing is constant, though. One thing is constant. President Trump is still able to tweet, or truth, however you want to say it. And he has done just that. Now, again, I think this is kind of what President Trump is known for, this shock value and the non-political correctness. I guess it would be the term to describe what he is. But he sure has managed to make a lot of people angry. Sean was at CrossFit yesterday, and I sent him the truth that President Trump put out. And in case you missed it, I'll read that for you. He said, and I quote, "I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years," which that very first statement kind of throws me because I think those were some of the people who got him elected. He goes on, "especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. Because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. And everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think they get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them." Also, if I remember correctly, it was his son Barron who told President Trump to get on the podcast scene while he was campaigning for the presidency this last go round. But nobody's talking about them, and their views are the opposite of MAGA, or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump, not hand-flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me about the now famous Only Rosie O'Donnell question, or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so called pundits are losers, in all caps, and they always will be. Now, fake news CNN, the Thailing New York Times, and all of the other radical left news organizations are hailing them and giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not MAGA, they're losers, just trying to latch on to MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to. But when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown. But I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing right for our country. MAGA is about winning and strength and not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA is about making America great again. And these people have no idea how to do that, but I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump. Now, a lot to digest there. But I cannot be the only one who thinks he sounds like a second grader, right? I know I get it. We don't want to say anything ugly about our Republican president, and he has done some amazing things, especially in the realm of politics where I am most concerned: parental rights, education, safety of our children. He's done some great things. He has kept all of his promises that he made to us. And he has given us a seat at the table, a seat inside the White House. Truly. I was looking at the opportunities that I've been given over the past year, year and a half, however long Trump has now been in office. And I think that I've been invited to the White House about 8 different times. He has given parents a voice. And for that, I'm forever grateful. That would not be the case had this presidential election gone the other way. But they're losers. And I'm better. And I'm the greatest. This sounds like child's play. This sounds like, have you guys ever seen the movie Idiocracy? Mike Madison told me about the movie Idiocracy. And I feel like we are truly living in the times of idiocracy. He's calling out these conservative Republican figures, saying they have low IQs, but this whole back and forth and the way he attacks people, and this was my problem with Trump in the very beginning. I did not want to raise my girls in a world where the most powerful man in the country, the president of the United States of America, gets angry with someone, especially a female, and then automatically goes to attacking their appearance. I think it's disgusting. I think it is beneath anyone who is sitting in that Oval Office, or at least it should be. It is okay to not agree with people. It is okay to not have respect for other people or other countries that you're trying to make a deal with. It is okay to not like other voices within the political realm, but to rant and rave like a 2-year-old throwing a hissy fit makes us as an entire country look like idiots. And this might not be the most popular opinion, but I'll tell you this one thing Michael Watson said at his announcement for his race to lieutenant governor the other day was that he expects constituents to hold him accountable. The voters put him in office and he wants to hear from them. He wants them to know that they can call him, and he wants and asked for Mississippians to let him know when they're unhappy about something because he works for us. And that should be the mindset of everyone holding an elected political position. This started Easter morning with the vulgar language and the praise be to Allah. And while I understand what he was doing, I get that he was being sarcastic. I'm not the person who is told to eat dishwasher pods to keep COVID away. And I think that you're being serious with me. I understand he has a sense of humor. I understand he is sarcastic and facetious at times. And I fully believe that that's what he meant with the post on Easter morning. But for goodness sake, mankind, every human being, Jesus died on a cross to save every last one of us. And Easter is the day that we celebrate the fact that he lives, that he rose again, that death couldn't defeat our Savior. Why, on that day, would you make a post like the one he made? It's like a toddler throwing a temper tantrum. And I'm sorry, I love a lot of the things that President Trump has done in the past year. I absolutely do. But I'm not going to just ignore the fact that he sounds out of control here. And there's a group of people out there, absolutely there is, with Trump derangement syndrome. I believe that wholeheartedly. There are people out there, orange man bad. We're going to hate him no matter what he does. He could get grocery prices the lowest they've ever been, gas prices down as low as we've ever seen, the housing market become affordable. He could do all the things. And there are a group of people who will hate him more than they've ever hated anybody else because he is who he is. That is 1,000,000% true. But there is also another group of people who refuse to hold this man accountable or call him out when he is wrong. And he is wrong sometimes. Nobody's perfect. And I can't imagine the pressure you must feel to be the one with these decision making powers that affect the entire country. Can't be easy. But for goodness sake, can somebody please take his phone or at least proof check some of these things that he puts out and talk him down, talk him off the ledge here? because he's not doing us as a country any favors. And a lot of you may not agree with me on this, and that's fine. But we've got Iran themselves making cartoon videos taunting our president, talking about his tiny hands and other body parts that are tiny. He's just a tiny little angry man. You know, idiocracy. Idiocracy. That's all I can think. And I think if we had seen some of these posts years ago, and we're told that these were going to be actual posts by the president of the United States of America, I think that we would have laughed and said, there's no way. We wouldn't have believed that. That's how outrageous it seems to have gotten. And it doesn't look like it'll be slowing down anytime soon. So I'm interested to hear Megyn Kelly today. She is absolutely one of my favorite people. She's the one person I probably agree with 99% of the time. And I hate that she's being attacked and drugged through the ringer once again by this administration. But I guess some people are okay with that. And that's just what we've been told to expect and to get over it. I personally think we should show a little more class than that. We got to take a break. Y'all stay with us. Lots more to discuss here on this beautiful Friday afternoon. WIAB 103.9, The Lindsey Beckham Show. We will be right back.
or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Where do you stand in the pro-life community? If you're passionate about protecting the sanctity of life from fertilization to natural death, please join us at Pro-Life Mississippi as we make a difference and save lives right here in our own state. Pro-Life Mississippi is a community of individuals dedicated to equipping others to value all human life, including the preborn, those with disabilities, and the elderly. Our mission is simple: to provide unwavering support, education, and advocacy for the preborn, their families, and other vulnerable children and adults. If you're just starting your pro-life journey or you have been an advocate of life for many years, Pro-Life Mississippi needs your voice and talents to save lives in Mississippi. Together, we can make a difference in building a stronger pro-life Mississippi. Learn more about us at prolifems.org. That's prolifems.org. Be part of the community that celebrates each and every human life.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
At Flora Animal Hospital, our team doesn't just take care of your pet's needs. We feel like it starts with the pet parents. If the pet parent is informed thoroughly and understands the situation with the animal and why certain things need to be done or certain medications need to be given, it's easier to get that done. Our website is floraanimalhospital.com. It'll take you straight to the online store where your medicine can be purchased, food can be purchased, prescription or non-prescription, and they will be shipped straight to your front door. floraanimalhospital.com.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. Windshield repair, replacement of shower doors, mirrors, and everything in between. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham, and we are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Also, 601-879-0002 is the number to the station if you would like to call into the show today. 601-879-4648 is our text line if you would rather text something into the show. And again, I've mentioned this a couple of times in the past few weeks, but we do have advertising room on the show. So if you are looking to promote your business, this is the place to be. And we would love to have you here. It really is like a big family, and our listeners truly support these businesses that advertise here at WIAB. So if you are interested, I'd love to hear from you. You can email info@wiab.com, or you can email me directly, Lindsey, that's Lindsey with an E, at wiab.com. And I will definitely get you some more information and see how we could partner together to help drum up some business. Difficult to do in this economy with the gas prices and all. We have been talking about Trump's post, or I guess truths, as he likes to call them, over on the Truth social platform that he created after he was removed from Twitter prior to Elon Musk purchasing it. So a friend of mine who I respect a lot, she made a Facebook post. I'm not going to say her name in case she doesn't want that out there, but she made a post yesterday that I really agreed with. And she said, first, and I should likely just stop here, would this dialogue include attacks on Charlie Kirk if he were alive? Because certainly Kirk would be questioning some of the current events. If one dares to criticize him and has any sort of platform or audience, they're low IQ, air quotes in the studio here, and maybe even not as pretty as Bridget, with an eye roll. 3 of these 4 have really gone to bat for him over the years. Trump and his giant block of words give child temper tantrum. And to heck with the art of the deal, learn the art of paragraphs. Also, the media is the 4th estate and is crucial in informing the public and holding the 3 branches of government accountable. One of those branches can't handle it. She signed off by saying, "Thank you for your attention to this matter." And if you read many of President Trump's posts, you know that that is quite frequently how he signs off or how he ends his truths that he puts out on his social media platform, Truth Social. So, I mean, it looks like some people who truly, truly supported this man in his bid for presidency the second time around are jumping ship at this point. Candace Owens put out a tweet saying, "I think it may be time we put grandpa in a home." I know many of you are not fans of Candace Owens, and I go back and forth on what to believe and what not to believe and who's telling the truth, and it's so hard to decipher these days, especially with so many platforms, so many social media giants, AI coming in on the scene. It's really difficult to know who's lying and who's telling the truth. Speaking of lies, they're supposed to come back from the moon today, I hear. See some splashdown later on this evening. Congratulations to the astronauts. I did have a friend who was there at the launch, so something was launched in the air. I'm guessing it went around the moon. Maybe we finally have the technology to do that here in 2026, you know, the technology that we did not have back in the 60s and 70s. I mean, I probably could believe that. Call me a conspiracy theorist. That's fine with me because pretty sure the conspiracy theorists have the upper hand here. We've been right about a lot of things. Been right about a whole lot of things. And I mean, when you've got the ultimate conspiracy theorist and Alex Jones now turning on the president, I don't know how much respect Alex Jones actually has from the majority of the American people. But he has said things at times that have made a whole lot of sense, in my opinion. And he has been right about some things. Now, if I were one of the parents who had lost my child in the Sandy Hook massacre, I'd probably want his head on a platter. And I'm sure that they feel that way. But definitely seems chaotic. My thought process here is, look, you are the president. You did win by a landslide. Absolutely. That is very much the truth. But according to our Constitution, you cannot be president after this term. So, how about we try really hard not to piss everyone off? Because the American people still have to live with whoever gets voted in, not only coming up in the midterms, but in the next presidential election. The reason why you won by a landslide was the help of a lot of these people, including Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly, Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson. But also because the last administration, well, I don't know that there even was one. The man had mush for brains. He couldn't form a sentence. He didn't know where he was half the time. These radical ideologies, so far left, telling boys they can be girls, and that helped too, Trump. That helped you win because they were so crazy. So let's not try that again. Don't act so crazy that you give the Democrats a victory in the next presidential election. We've got to think about the bigger picture and what that's going to mean for this country. Because this country is still going to be here once you're gone. I don't know if you think that you're going to live forever, but you're up there in age, and I don't see it. I don't see you being around a whole lot longer. Something to think about, and I think it's something he should be thinking about, because this country is still going to be here, and we need to be able to elect good conservative candidates. We got to take a break. We will be right back. Lots more to discuss. Melania coming out speaking yesterday. I don't think anybody was expecting that. We're going to talk about that, and I want to hear from you as well. 601-879-0002 is the number to call into the show, and we will be right back here on the Lindsey Beckham Show, WYAB 103.9. Don't go anywhere.
WYAB.
I'm Sean Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom. First as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
CBS News Brief. Negotiations between the U.S. and Iran are scheduled for tomorrow in Pakistan. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer says Iran is in a good negotiating position.
The Iranian high card is the Straits of Hormuz and the fact that at the moment they're controlling and in fact have stopped traffic almost entirely in the Straits of Hormuz.
Sharply higher gas prices fueled a spike in inflation in March. CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks.
Gasoline prices soared more than 21% higher from the previous month, the biggest monthly gain for gas prices in the CPI's history.
The Orion capsule carrying the 4 astronauts from the Artemis II mission is scheduled to re-enter Earth's atmosphere and splash down later today. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood says Orion will be coming down at a different trajectory from earlier uncrewed testing to preserve its heat shields.
They're going to still do a skip re-entry, but not come out as much. They won't get as cool, and that's supposed to keep it safe. They're convinced it will.
CBS News Brief.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
Delicious food and a relaxing atmosphere combine to make the best place for sports fans and foodie fans to watch the game and just hang out. Capitol Grill of Jackson. Of course they've got the games, but food, oh my goodness. Mouth-watering po' boys, fish, steaks, appetizers, and a specialty pizza menu. Kitchen opens at 5 Monday through Thursday and 11 Friday through Sunday. And happy hours are daily at Capitol Grill. Also enjoy the all-new Tuesday night and karaoke on Wednesday and Friday nights from 8 till midnight with DJ Money Mon. Capitol Grill, DeVille Plaza in Jackson.
The 19th Annual Township Jazz Festival is Saturday, April 11th in Ridgeland. 8 hours of live jazz, headlined by Grammy winner Nestor Torres. Also featuring the Tropicals from New Orleans, along with local favorites like the Vamps Southern Comfort, the JSU Jazz Band, and much more. And admission still free. That's the Township Jazz Festival on Highland Colony Parkway in Ridgeland. Visit townshipjazzfestival.com.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Still waiting by the phone? Yes. They won't call. They're a big corporation. They don't care about you. I know. Go with Advantage Business Systems. They offer the same office machines as the big guys. The difference is their great attentive service. They're local and always there for you.
I love you, Advantage Business Systems.
Make Advantage Business Systems your office supply steady. Visit absms.com. That's absms.com.
Come together.
Welcome back into the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And as always, at WIB.com and on 103.9 on your FM radio dial. You can call in to the show, 601-879-0002, or text in 601-879-4648. I did see a post as I was scrolling just then during the break, and I had not heard about this, but I'm guessing there was an incident this morning at Brandon High School. Clay posted an update. He said there was not an overdose, though Crime Radar and Newsbreak had reported on that. They had that information. There was, however, a fight between two girls over a vape or something like that. And that information came from the Brandon Police Department. I'm telling you what, the vape situation in our schools is out of control. And I don't even know how you stop that. You would have to employ someone just to stand guard in the girls' bathrooms, because I think that's where a lot of it goes on. But parents, I support going through your kids' drawers, bedrooms, backpacks, all the things. There's just too much out there these days that they can get into, and it is so easily accessible. And regardless of how good the school is, these kids are sneaky, man. Parenting is no joke. Parenting is no joke. It is the greatest gift I've ever been given and the blessing of my life. But it is not for the weak. It is not for the weak, I tell you. Especially teenage girls. I think, and I've been told this before, and I'm starting to understand the truth to it. But when girls hit that puberty age, they turn into a monster for several years. And then they slowly come out of it. Their brains regulate, I guess. I mean, that really is true. You know, when you're hit with all the surge of these new hormones and your body's changing and the way you feel about things are changing, you're starting to form your own opinions in life. You go through that span, those few years where it's just difficult. And that's also one reason I think it's absolutely insane that we would allow children that age to make decisions such as mutilating their bodies, cutting off body parts, cutting off their breast, taking gender affirming drugs or hormones when you're already going through this influx of all these new hormones. And then you're just going to add more synthetic hormones to the system. Who wouldn't be confused? And you'll never convince me, way off topic here, you'll never convince me that the aborted fetal cells that are used to make certain vaccines don't play a role in all of this gender confusion that we see today. Again, I mean, I say gender confusion loosely because I don't believe gender is a thing. It doesn't exist. There are two sexes, zero genders, infinite personalities. But I'll always believe that that plays a role in it as well. So last night, we saw Melania make public statements concerning the Epstein files. Even so far as to demand Congress to allow Epstein's survivors to publicly testify, publicly, about what happened to them. Melania also says there's no way Epstein acted alone. Now, I see this. First of all, I'm a little confused as to why she's making this statement now. It seems as though the Epstein talk had kind of died down a little bit since we have been at war with Iran and sent astronauts to the moon for the first time. It seems as though the Epstein conversation had cooled. But she was upset about something and definitely wanted to speak on that, which she absolutely did yesterday. So either she is 1,000,000% confident that her husband had absolutely nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein and what was going on as far as underage girls were concerned on that island. Or either she's trying to get her husband thrown out of the White House. I don't think that's the case at all. I really don't. I think that she feels certain he wasn't involved, at least not in the way that some have alleged. So I wonder, will Congress follow through on her demand, Or is this just theatrics? Because I'm not really sure. I mean, we've clearly seen President Donald Trump say, why is anybody still talking about this? In fact, he's gotten quite angry and frustrated that it's still a topic of conversation. But then we see Melania come out and make these statements, these basically demands yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that, if anything. But I was a little surprised when I saw that she was making a public statement last night or yesterday afternoon. So we'll see. We will see what comes of that. We're going to take our last break for the week. Y'all stay with us. We're going to be right back here to wrap things up on this beautiful Friday afternoon here at WIAB 103.9, The Lindsey Beckham Show. We will be right back.
.com. Stop in today and get it all done in one place.
I am Wayne Lloyd, Delta Farm Services, LLC. We do all types of dirt work, excavation, dozer work, land leveling. We do building pads, commercial ponds and lakes, residential ponds and lakes, anything with dirt work. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
Google Delta Farm Services, LLC, or find them on Facebook.
Delta Farm Services, LLC.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are coming to you live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios right here in Flora, Mississippi. Just a few minutes left on the show for the day. I hope everybody has some fun plans, something fun planned for the weekend. Sean and I are going to go see my favorite comedian who I just adore, Mary Ryan Brown, tomorrow in Vicksburg. So I'm so excited about that. She's hilarious, and she has this way of nailing the Southern mom. She does tons of videos basically making fun of Southern moms and making fun of certain Mississippi events, but they're hilarious. They are so funny. She did one about Mistletoe Marketplace that had me in tears. And then I think my favorite one that she has done is about the Neshoba County Fair. Y'all go look her up and follow her. She will have you cracking up for sure. So I am excited about that. I guess I've been a little hard on our president today. Not that I'm sure he knows or cares. He would just tell me I have a low IQ and that I'm not as beautiful as Bridget, but that's okay. It's okay. Honestly, I think she's a man too. I'm sorry. I just do. I just do. I will say this. I'd rather have a mean tweet on Easter than to devote the Easter holiday as a trans day of visibility and to celebrate the trans community on Easter at the White House by having men with breasts parade their nude breast around the White House lawn. I don't think either are appropriate in any way, shape, or form, but I'll gladly take the mean tweet over the naked, confused, mentally ill individual because I'm just not going to use their terms and say transgender. I'm not doing it. We for sure got the lesser of two evils. I just saw while scrolling that Kamala is thinking of running for president again. God bless us all. God bless us, everyone. Y'all say your prayers because we need it. That's all the time we've got for today. Of course, I will be back here Monday, same time, same place right here at WIB 1039. I will see you then.